going.
Holy shit.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hazardous Opinions. I believe this is Ashlee's second episode joining us now, and Eric's back. Thank God we found him.
Hey guys.
Yeah, there he is. So I wasn't really happy with my intro last time. Don't worry, I'm going to do a lot better. I was a little out of practice. But today we're going to cover some horror and a little bit of comedy. And with coming into the summer, it really does match the feel of this horror comedy, thankfully. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. So the movie we're covering today is Totally Killer from 2023. And it is a Prime original. So it is streaming on there for free. On Letterboxd, it's a 3.1 out of 5 stars. So pretty good, above 50%. Doing great.
Yeah, this one's a pretty recent one of the 2023 hits that I did not get to until recently. Directed by Nahnatchka Khan, director I'm not familiar with, but we have some good young talent in here as well. Kiernan Shipka as our protagonist Jamie, Olivia Holt and Charlie Gillespie being some of our bigger names, and like Hunter said, this one's on Prime Video. So for those of you that haven't seen this yet, this is a wonderful Back to the Future slasher-ish horror comedy. So we have the Sweet 16 killer who kills a lot of people in 1987, and then many decades later decides to return for another kill. The mother of Jamie, our protagonist. And then Jamie decides to go back in time from her genius, very plot convenient friend's time machine and try and stop the murders. And we get some very interesting Back to the Future time travel issues from there. So, what do you guys think of this movie?
All right, I'll go, even though it's my pick and all nerves are on me. So I'd give this movie an 8 out of 10, I would say. It's not perfect, but actually that's one of the aspects I love about it. Like, it's horror comedies are very tough to get just perfect, like that 10 out of 10. So this one I just felt good at an 8 after. I'm not even going to do any points, like 0.5 or anything. But yeah, I really enjoy this movie, and it means a lot because my wife and I both discovered it together, and she never watches horror at all. So that's a little more special, and she really enjoyed it. So kind of sticks in my mind because of that. But Ashlee, what do you think?
I'm giving it a 7.8. And do you want me to tell you why I'm taking away 2 points from an 8?
Yeah, describe as much as you want about it.
Yeah.
Because of the CGI blood in a couple scenes.
Damn it.
So I'm taking away two points.
Takes you out of it, man.
Yeah.
I understand.
So 7.8 for me.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it because I'm biased and I love stuff that takes place in the 80s.
That's a big up for it. I agree. That's a big positive.
Even though it was clearly written by someone who probably was not physically there in the 80s.
No. I mean, I'll get into points later.
Same, but I still love
it. Yeah, the 80s vibe. That's a good topic to talk about with this movie.
Andy?
Yeah. Yep, I'll go and then we'll hear what Eric thinks. And I'm actually agreeing with Ashlee here. I think 7.8 is like perfect rating for this. Just below the 8 level. My issues aren't with the CGI blood though. Mine is with the jokes that don't land throughout this movie. They're just a little too many of the same type of joke. But I really like this movie. I'm obsessed with time travel and I like 80s music. So this was a really fun slasher. Eric?
I'm gonna go with Hunter on this. I think it was a really good movie. I'll go with an 8. and reason because like I am a big fan of like time travel and stabby movies. And this is a perfect blend of both. Happy
Hell
Death
yeah.
Day was great. And I'm a big fan.
Oh, well, this might be the closest we've all been in ratings in like any movie.
Just so everybody knows, we didn't meet up with each other and be like, okay, yeah, you and I match up and you and I match up. That's kind of a little funny. I think we're on teams here. So is this how we're going to fight during the episode?
Yeah, between a
Okay.
0.2 rating difference.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Eric, we can take them, right?
Yeah, we got this.
All right. Awesome.
Well, we're physically in person, so we could definitely take you.
Shit, Eric, I'm screwed.
I'm on my way. Run out the door.
Drive all the way. Come on. It's not going to take that much time. I might be alive by the time you get here.
Oh, it's on site. It's on site. All of y'all, we're going.
Can we start this out with talking about podcasts and movies? You know, being that we're on a podcast, like,
Yeah.
I love that this is becoming such a thing. Like, it's not like YouTube hasn't blown up in movies as much as I thought it would be. It's like podcasts, like all the Godzilla and Kong movies. That's a central thing, and
Only Murders in the Building.
yeah,
That's all a true crime podcast.
you go, and we get our Dubasage, Chris Dubasage, who's doing his podcast, going everyone around.
Deuce.
Dubasage. Indubitably.
What kind of name is that?
It felt very real. I'm like, yeah, true crime podcast would be doing that, touring around the city it happened, and
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since the movie opens up with the podcast aspect, and it's not like a cold open like a lot of slashers, like, you know, take Scream with Drew Barrymore and she gets killed. That's like the whole sequence in the beginning. But this, you start off in the town, the whole feel of the town, and the podcast. So like what I put in my notes about the podcast was it kind of touches on the good side of true crime and the interest in it, but as well as how people expose it in negative ways at times too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's that kind of gray line that you feel there already that they're commenting on in the writing.
Yeah, with the Angie wanting more death.
Exactly. Like it goes along with we'll get there, but the murder of the motive of one of the killers.
When it opened up, I loved the claymation miniatures that depicted the crimes that were happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It reminded me of Hereditary, and I also just love miniature stuff and making miniature stuff and sculpting in general.
Yeah.
So I really loved the little aspect of it, and it was cool.
It was nice how it glossed. That's not a right word to use, not glossing over, but kind of getting us into what happened in the town in a nice edited intro.
Agree.
So I get you.
But back to Angie. I thought she was hilarious for saying that because I also think of more people thinking of a serial killer. And not a spoiler or anything, just bringing up a plot point. But
Okay.
at the end of the movie, after the timelines was changed,
Mm-hmm.
there was 6 murders. There was 6 deaths in the movie.
There were 6, like total.
I guess if you count the killers, right?
Yeah.
That's very
So
true.
technically, it's not from the serial killer. He didn't kill 6 people, but
Okay.
she was like, I was thinking like 6 or something.
That's
And
actually good pickup.
There was
Yeah.
6.
Yeah,
That was probably
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah, probably.
I definitely picked up a lot more when I watched this through the second time that I missed. Like
Same.
her conversations with her parents originally, and then her using that when she meets the younger versions. Now I'm like, oh, now I actually know what to listen for when she was about to reference it. So,
Oh, very true. Yeah, I do. There's some more
I can't remember
connections with the
specifically like her dad being like saying like I was buff when I was younger, and then you actually see it. And
Yes.
then, but I didn't pick that up the first time when I watched. It wasn't until the second time, like, oh yeah, he was really buff.
I thought it was funny that he dressed up as Zac Efron for Halloween.
Right? And like, I love. It's kind of jumping ahead, but it is a little part when she meets her dad, and it's that whole edit between the younger version and the older version wearing that muscle shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just so funny that
he
it's like,
he does
oh,
that little
that's
look
his
at the
body.
camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the back and forth when we're doing screenshots. It's almost like a little bit of holding the viewer's hand, be like, oh yeah, this is this person, don't you remember? But
Yes.
like when we're introducing the mean girls, the Mollies, and it flashes forward to each of their deaths and stuff to remind you who they are. I liked all that.
I do too. It wasn't too much hand holding, did you guys feel?
And
Yeah.
the Mollies were obviously a nod to the Heathers. Did you guys ever watch that movie?
I haven't seen the movie, but I get what you're talking
was.
about, especially
Um,
since it's an 80s.
I know they had like little flashes of the past selves and the present selves, but I wish I got one more because I had to think of who the cop was.
The cop girl.
Oh, the Randall Park.
Randy.
Yeah, the
And then
Asian
the prince-
actor,
and then
right?
the
Asian
principal.
Jim.
Asian Jim.
Asian Jim. Yeah. Randall Park plays Asian Jim in The
Oh.
Office.
Lynn, I think his
I
name
didn't
is
watch
Lynn
Office.
in the movie. Yeah,
Oh,
the one where it's the girl with the unflattering haircut when she's insulting her. Yeah,
yes.
That-
Yep.
that grows up to be the sheriff.
That's her dad. There
Yeah.
we go. Yep.
Yeah, her. I kept thinking she was one of the mean girls. I was like, oh wait, no, she's not being targeted.
Yeah, kind of same. You do get mixed up a little bit. But like you said, Andy, rewatching this definitely helps connect all the characters because like this opening to the movie helps introduce us to the townspeople as well. Like they kind of slowly get introduced and you feel like it's an actual community. Like these people went to high school together all these years ago and they're still in the same town, you know? So like it's easy differentiating everybody on a second watch is what I'm trying to get
I am one watch, so I mildly struggled a little bit with that.
to. Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to say like I totally get you if you're struggling with that. Yeah. So
Yeah, I definitely did on the first watch where it was like, I got the principal guy. I was like, okay, that's him. But it was the like the gym teacher. I think I was like, who's that guy? When they're in the past, I didn't know who he was.
yeah.
So
Yep.
because he's only got just the one scene, which is like great. He's like, avoid the knife, save your life.
Damn it, that's a quote I
was
have
like,
in my
remember,
notes.
Me too. I was like,
Avoid
great
the
advice.
knife. Keep your life.
Keep your life. Yeah.
I like his delivery on it
Yeah.
too.
Just
Go
very
Devils.
matter of
Yeah.
factly.
He's telling everybody to run as soon as they see
Yeah.
the killer. Like, no shit.
Yep. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful self-defense tips.
Yeah, for sure. Also, the cinematography, since like you kind of see how the movie's gonna be in that sense, like the color grading and everything, I thought it was really clean and the camera movement was not too static and not too in motion. You know what I'm saying? Like too cutty
Yeah.
and like all over the place. It was nice. And the cinematography, it's like clean and vibrant. And it kind of reminds me of Netflix stuff, but it does it in a better way.
I have something perfect to add to that.
Aha. Okay.
You know
go
how I
ahead.
told you Ryan left me alone so I could do my homework?
Yeah.
He walked into the house and he tuned in on the first chase scene
With the mom?
Jamie.
Yeah.
No, with Jamie.
Oh.
Sorry,
Oh.
I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Okay. At the carnival.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, at the carnival. And he was like, no, looks like a sci-fi original. The way it looks. And I was like, no, it doesn't. He was like, not as bad though, just a little bit. I was like, not as bad as Exorcist Believer, right? He was like, no.
No.
But just my first glimpse of it, it looks like it's shot like that. So
I
same
get
like in
you.
that, same thing, but same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't
Makes
bother me
it-
that much. I still love the vibrancy.
I liked the light tone that they took with the murders and stuff, like with how they framed the camera, like especially with Pam Hughes, Jamie's mother at the beginning.
Mhm.
There was like the few static shots like you talked about, and they had the one on the back door, and it was almost like a comedic shot of him coming in,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
at least I laughed at it. I thought it was just very silly, but I like she took it very lighthearted the whole time. Like she's like, "You don't think I'm prepared for this?" and pulls out the gun and. I'm like, this was exactly how Jamie Lee Curtis in the new Halloween should have been.
That's in my notes. And Jamie's actually named after Jamie Lee Curtis.
Really?
Yes,
I
that's where they
believe
got her
it.
name from. But I
And then-
literally have Jamie Lee Halloween 2018 vibes in my notes.
Yeah.
I wonder if her other name at the end is another reference, maybe Toni Collette or something.
Oh, when
Whose
her
name?
name is changed
At the
when-
very end when she gets the new name.
Yeah, what was
because
her new
everything
name?
changed. She ended up having an older gay brother,
Yeah.
and her
Yeah.
name was not Jamie.
was Colette.
He was Jamie now because
Colette.
he was
That's what it
born
was.
first.
I am your mother.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did notice something fairly in the beginning-ish after Jamie's mom was killed. They were talking about on the news that all their last names were as Hughes,
Mm-hmm.
and Pam, Jamie's mom, was dressed as Molly Ringwald. And
John
later
Hughes
on, John
from-
Hughes directed Breakfast Club.
Yep.
And then
80s.
the four Molly Ringwalds at the party.
Oh yeah.
And I have one more Breakfast Club reference that I caught on to.
Okay.
Vernon High School. Like the Vernon was the town principal Vernon, the Breakfast Club.
Huh.
Wow,
Shit.
you picked up a lot. Actually,
I love the Breakfast Club. And I recently watched it as well, so I picked up on a lot of that.
I've only seen it twice, but I
Huh.
do enjoy that movie. I think I need to rewatch it again.
I had one gripe, but not really a gripe. I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay. Okay.
I was like, oh, I love that their team is the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, when Jamie goes back on the, it's like the Vernon Red Devils, and it's like a Native American with just like a depicted huge nose, which is like a stereotype. It made me laugh, and I was like, wow, don't like that they're the Devils anymore. But just kidding, because it was actually really funny.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what did Jamie say?
She said, "Oh, there's the blatant racism. I was waiting for that.
Yep,
Knew
yep.
that was
Like,
coming."
see, Andy, when you were talking about the comedy about this, since we're kind of on that line,
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of lines like that got me, like that one got Ashlee, and I felt like her being self-aware to the changed times and everything, like it's not such a pointing out to us like, oh hey, look at what we're doing. It's just it's kind of funny, like to plop somebody in there from the present and
Yeah.
like see everything.
See how much has changed.
Yeah.
Like I get where they were coming from. It's like, haha, like look how far we've come now. And I did like the Red Devils thing, and then the problematic T-shirt joke when she first steps out of the time machine.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that's funny because you did see those even up to the early 2000s. You'd see that kind of
Exactly.
stuff.
It did not say female body inspector though. It said something. They worded it differently.
Was it different? Oh,
They did.
But
yeah.
it was
they-
the same. Yeah.
and then he just kept going with that line of jokes though, and I think those got tiring for me by the end. Like, what was it? The like unwanted touch or something at the party, and then she went on like a tirade about drunk driving, and I was like, okay, maybe it's a little much. At least like the line delivery didn't hit for me in those later ones.
One of them
I
for me
getcha.
that I was like, okay, was when Jamie went back to the past and she was trying to go into class, and the school staff was like, "Can you verify that?" Or she's like, "Can you verify?" She's like, "What is that?" Or
Oh yeah, yeah. When
like,
she
what
went
is
up to the front
verifying?
desk,
Yeah.
and she,
And they just let her in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was so casual. Yeah,
Actually, I really like that the comment about TSA.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I bet flying in airports is just crazy right now," or something like that.
very true. Yeah, like just a random thought that would pop into your head when you time travel like that. I like that inner dialogue comes out.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I liked. I just maybe it was just a line delivery or something, or just too
Yeah.
many of those little jokes. But like,
It ran
Just-
out of steam for
yeah,
you.
the later ones didn't hit as much.
yeah, one I can think of right off the top of my head was just DNA. What's that?
Yeah.
I wrote that in
I was
here
like,
yeah.
too.
did they
I
not
love
have
that
it
part?
late 80s? I didn't look at the exact year.
Yeah, actually, the first year they started using DNA used to solve crime was 1986 in England.
Oh, so just
So it's
around
still
that
fairly
time.
fresh.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So probably didn't
Not-
make it to them because it was so
a
new.
little small town in
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah. That makes sense.
because this took place in 1987, right?
87.
87.
So
Yep.
that
Yeah,
technology
so-
definitely didn't hit a small town.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like everybody knew everybody's. Like it just had that feel.
It's the perfect year though, and I think they did this so intentionally because Back to the Future is 2 years old, enough for people to know the references in the past.
Yes.
But Scream
Mhm.
and the other big slashers have not yet come.
That
So,
was kind of a fun in between to set it.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I like when she mentioned Scream. She's like, 2 killers, like Scream. She's like, oh wait, that
God
isn't out
damn.
yet.
Ashlee,
I'm sorry, I'm taking
get out
notes.
of
I'm
my
sorry, I'm
head.
sorry.
I have that in my notes too. Of course, I'm gonna highlight Scream.
You're wearing a Scream shirt.
I am right now. We're not doing video episodes yet, guys, but if you could see me, I'm wearing a Ghostface tee. Representing the horror today. Yeah. So I suppose we can go more in order. We were kind of jumping all
We did,
around,
sorry,
but
sorry.
like we had
Overview
stuff to
stuff.
say.
Yeah.
We had reason. So I was going to start with Jamie's dad, the actor Lachlan Monroe.
Love him.
Did not know that was his name. That's an awesome name.
I love him so much in everything he's in, and his name never sticks to me.
Exactly.
So.
He sticks in my head like Benchwarmers, Scary Movie, and also, there's one more that I'm forgetting about. White Chicks.
Oh my god, yeah, he's one of the.
He's one of my highlights in White Chicks.
Yeah, he was really funny in there.
Didn't you guys like light up when you saw him
Yes.
as her dad?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And
He's in a
drawing
lot of
He's in a
crap.
lot.
He's in a lot good crap. First of
Yeah.
all,
He's a really good that guy, I would say.
I
Even
agree.
still. Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah, he's just in a lot of stuff. He's got
Yes,
like
he
300
is.
credits.
Oh yeah, he's just he plays little parts here and there, and then like pretty highlighted parts like those that I mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him though, and like him as her dad, and then you also have her mom, played by
Julie Bowen.
Julie Bowen. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Julie Bowen. She has had my heart since Happy Gilmore. If you guys are big fans of Happy
Who was
Gilmore.
she in Happy Gilmore? I just recently watched that.
She's the woman Adam Sandler Happy gets with. That's her.
Oh, okay.
And she's also in
I knew
Hubie Halloween with
I knew
him.
I recognized her. I shut off Hubie Halloween after a couple minutes. I need to revisit it.
Yeah. No, she just I like her a lot. She seems just so nice and mother-like. So I'm just glad it was that team as her parents. It fit with Kiernan Shipka being Jamie. I don't know. It was nice.
Yeah, I like Julie Bowen. She's in some good shows I like.
Yeah, I'm sure she's in more, but all that comes to me is like with Adam Sandler for some, yeah. So yeah, it was nice seeing her pop up again.
I have a possible plot hole I wanted to run by you guys, see what your thoughts were.
I would love for you to run it by us.
So the Chris Dubasage, spoiler talk, but he ends up being our secondary killer.
Yes.
And so he kills Pam Hughes to start, assuming that's just because she was also part of the Mean Girls, so that's probably why he picked her. But why even go after Jamie at all? Like when he's going after her in the carnival? Like, does he not think that one murder is going to spark interest in the pod enough?
That is a good point. I was like,
wondering
why?
what you thought of that. It's like, why is he going for 2 kills right away and risking getting caught?
Especially because Jamie didn't do anything to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't write that down, but I was thinking that too.
I want to say it kind of has something to do.
Like if you want 3 kills again or something like that was the only thing I thought of.
Probably.
I wonder who would have been the third then.
Probably the friend.
I
Yeah.
didn't write down her friend's name.
Yeah, her friend. I forgot the friend's
I
name
write down
too.
either. Amelia.
Yeah.
Amelia. There we go.
She's
yes.
a pretty good friend. She reminded me of Janie.
She's a great friend. Like,
Well, I have in my notes like that mother-daughter pairing. Her mom is awesome too, and
they both really
Jamie.
helped her out.
Yeah,
and like without asking, she was building that time machine with the intention to save her mom.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
cool.
like she's like, just let me help you right away. Don't even have to talk her into it. Definitely. Also, thank you, Totally Killer, for introducing a killer 8 minutes into the movie and still keeping the suspense and plenty of questions throughout. Honestly, like it didn't wait. Sometimes, like after watching Death Proof, we don't get that kill of Rose McGowan until how long into the movie?
Quite a lot of bar scene before we got there.
Yeah. So not faulting it like there. I'm just using that as an example. Like he was just introduced and you had questions the whole time.
Yeah. Just enough character development to make you care for the mom and then get rid of her.
Exactly.
She put up a great fight, like an actual legit fight.
Yeah.
That's what I loved too. Like that was a different. It's not even a cold open because it's not right at the beginning, but like the first kill is, yeah, it's nice that she's actually prepared, and like ready to go.
One thing they didn't address, which is weird because they addressed DNA in the 80s, she cuts him in the modern day. They just don't bring it up again. Like she gets one stab in at Chris.
Andy, stop being so goddamn picky.
I got to pick these apart. If they're gonna bring up DNA, like they have to keep it.
Very true. Keep it on.
Like if she would have waited a couple days for however long it takes to get it back, and could have figured it out, and then go back.
That's gonna be haunting me now.
Yeah, it would have been a whole other issue because she would have went back and been like, "Oh, this is the killer," and it wasn't actually the killer. But that would have been an interesting thing to see.
You want to know another really crazy plot hole that's been really grinding my gears?
Yes, Eric.
They were watching RoboCop, which came out in 1987, but RoboCop didn't come out on VHS until early 1988.
Good catch.
Is that for real?
That's for real, man.
Digging into the years.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't catch that. That's on the.
Did you look it up?
That's on the IMDb page.
That's amazing. All right, thank you, IMDb.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's cool though.
I did like seeing all the VHS tapes, the physical media of the movies,
Just
even if I didn't watch them.
Yeah,
they were all 80s movies.
I was like, no, and I was like,
but I've seen that one. I've seen that.
Yeah, and then at the very last one was Scanners. By David Cronenberg. I was like, yes. I was like, I got one.
It had like all the essentials.
Blade Runner.
I only watched the remake, so added to the 80s nostalgia and media, kind of, just having those planted there. And like for movies fans watching a movie, you'll probably be like, oh my god.
Yep.
Like just going down the row. So that was a nice addition.
I thought it was an interesting thing that they wanted to watch, like probably at the time one of the more violent 80s movies, like right after they just witnessed the death of their friend.
True.
Maybe that's not the way to cool down, but to each their own.
But had to kind of keep the horror tone in the movie.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, I get you. It's I mean, there is time travel in this movie, guys, so it's not really realistic, I suppose. Yeah.
You're telling me I can't turn an arcade or a photo booth into a time machine?
Son, I'm gonna crush your dreams right now.
No, don't tell me.
You cannot.
What?
I'm so sorry, Eric.
I did like at least the plot point. It wasn't just like, oh, Amelia is like a super genius and just whipped this thing up. Her mom has been doing this for working on it for decades, and now she just finished it.
Worked on it, yeah.
Yeah, also because Jamie gave her the idea because she went back in time. So it's like you're already like altering timelines because she went back in time. Do you think they remember her from like being back in time or whatever?
Well, they do.
Oh, I hate time travel movies. They don't make any sense to me. Which sometimes I can relate to. Because I know you guys love Tenet, but I won't even watch it because I know I won't get it.
I do not.
Tenet. Yeah, no, Tenet's not even a good time travel movie. That's just weird.
It's Christopher Nolan being smarter than us.
Yeah.
That's why I have a hard time with Nolan sometimes. I still didn't watch Inception because I know I just won't get it.
Inception, you might.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
It took
That's
me
just
some
plays around
watches.
with dreams.
Yeah. But just time travel movies though in general. Sometimes I'm just like,
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Randall Park, the sheriff, though?
In the movie, he says, "Oh, I hate time travel movies. They never make any sense to me."
Oh, okay. You're relating to him.
Yes, after he blatantly blows his cigarette smoke into Jamie's face.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That was one of the biggest 80s things.
Yeah.
Is secondhand smoke just being totally ignored.
Yeah.
Mother,
everybody's smoking.
Oh yeah, like in buildings everywhere still. What I was going to get into about the time travel aspect about this, I'm kind of with Ashlee that it drives me nuts at times because I'm a person, since I've been a kid, I have asked a lot of questions about plots of movies, and they need to make perfect sense in me, like in my mind. and I have to have it mapped out. If I love the story, I want to understand it fully, right?
That's how I am as well.
Yeah.
So with time travel, this movie was refreshing because it's more of a basic time travel, and they do not try and go in the analytics of it all.
Yeah, it's not
No.
the time turner Harry Potter mess. It's just like you go back in time. It's the most simplest version of time travel, I guess.
Yep.
Go back in time, change stuff.
Yep.
Now you go to the future. It's different.
And there's
Yeah.
no duplicate of yourself to come back
Which-
to or anything like that.
That's the weird thing though that Eric brought up the good point about is like, would there be a duplicate of her? Because she would have been born on a different date unless there's some weird stars align thing where she's exactly the same and she influenced her birth date.
So these are
Um,
questions I also have when I think of myself going back in time.
Because like she was technically reborn in the timeline before she came back. Like they would have experienced the birth of Jamie before she came back. So there is a second Jamie somewhere.
There
unless
has
she
to be, right?
overrode her.
You're making my brain split, Andy.
But like,
They just don't acknowledge it, which is probably for the best. But
Yeah.
they don't acknowledge it, but like she just comes back to the present, and then everybody's like, "Hey, good to see you," as if nothing changed. And like, I don't know if she just like took over her past self. I put quotes on that because like technically there's like herself that's like going through time, and then herself that's coming back from the past into the present. So
I think their explanation that resolves it is also something that kind of confused me for the other stuff where it was the Mandela effect. Is I think the past and the present and future, etc., are all happening at the same time. They're just happening in different parts of the river, as they explained it. Like, because when she was changing things in the past, it was influencing things in real time for the people in the present. And all of a sudden they were like, oh, wait, that didn't actually happen like
I
that.
did notice
Why am I
that.
remembering it different?
yeah,
Like, she
Oh.
shouldn't be actively influencing them. She would have been completely erasing it in other time travel movies.
Oh, okay. I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense because they did jump back and forth like that. So that makes me think that herself goes back in time, but really she's actually gone from this timeline. But when she comes back, she's still herself in that timeline, but like just went to a different part of the river of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
kind of get what you guys are saying. I think,
Yeah.
holy listeners, I hope
Yeah.
you're still with us.
So she was
That
probably only
good.
gone for like a couple hours.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, time travel just gets wacky, man.
Oh, man.
I thought it was funny when she was talking to Amelia and she was giving her like the gist of time. I think she was talking to Amelia, but she was like, I saw Endgame, but it didn't really make any sense to me.
Yes,
Like,
I
me.
loved that quote.
Me.
It felt like a very modern movie since they reference
Yeah.
a Marvel movie that took place not too.
Oh, yeah, it's when
Long.
she's going back talking to the mother of you know,
Yes.
The mom. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
and she keeps referencing other movies. She's like, "Oh, you haven't seen that yet. You'll see it." When she,
Yeah,
like,
or they
Scream.
yeah, it talked about Scream. How they thought like Scream is just like you think Drew Barrymore's in it, but she's actually not.
That was another
Yeah.
good Scream
Could
reference.
be two killers, but oh wait, you didn't see Scream yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that quote. I love some of the quotes and the self-aware. Things are different in the 80s to Kiernan Shipka's character.
Yeah,
Can
Jamie.
we jump to when she goes back, like when she first gets there?
yeah.
Yes.
To
the
87?
carnival.
I think we're there in this story
Yeah.
if you'd like
Yep.
to. Yeah.
I thought oh wait, remember this was present day when they had the science fair at the carnival.
Yep.
We need more carnival scenes in movies. When Ryan came in, he's like, nope. When he said it looked like a sci-fi original, he's like, it reminds me of the one with the lady with the short hair at the carnival. And I was like, Hellfest? And he's like, yes.
Oh my god. Yes.
I didn't like
Actually,
Hellfest, but yeah, carnival. And then when they got there is when I noticed that I did not have my sync lights on.
oh sure.
So I made sure to turn them on for the carnival scenes because that's when I noticed that the colors were not showing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That could be a good part to do the sync to.
Was Amelia's mom's name
Lauren.
Lauren? When she was like, I need to talk to you. And she finds her in the classroom
Yeah.
and said she was from the future and whatever, and pulled out her iPhone, and Lauren was like, "Is this the time machine?" I thought that was funny.
It could be.
Yeah.
I
As far
mean,
as she knows.
technology has come a far way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in another 20 years of movies, that would be the time machine.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Ashlee, I was going to say to, again, get out of my head, because I had that in my notes with the amusement parks. We need more movies with amusement parks that
I
are
love, and
Yeah.
I just love
actually good.
scenes that, I don't know if you guys watched Euphoria, but there's
Yeah,
like the whole carnival scene.
Yeah.
that was good.
I was
Yeah,
just thinking about that too.
there we go. Yeah.
Euphoria.
I feel like we get a lot. Like I've seen a lot in later recent movies. Like Us. It's like all
Oh, yeah.
carnival stuff.
Oh, and
That was in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
when they go and it's like going through everybody, it kind of reminds me of the Lost Boys when they get to Santa Carla,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like going through like on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lost Boys. We got to cover that one.
We probably should.
We probably should. I mean, hey, 80s.
Is that about vampires?
It is.
It
Yep.
is.
Shut it.
That's what I heard. And they eat people, like
Sometimes.
with knives and shit. No,
What?
maybe I
Knives
got
in
bad
the mouth?
intel.
You haven't seen
Fangs?
Lost Boys?
I haven't.
Well, you need to.
It was sitting on the shelf at my mom's house, and then this is like I'm just trying to go into memory of like what I know about it, which is not much. I looked at the case and I got the vibe that it was like vampires and shit. So
Well, there's some great carnival scenes in that one.
That's
We need to
very
cover
true.
some vampire movies.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
cover
we should-
Daybreakers.
Daybreak.
Haven't
seen
seen
that
that one.
Oh,
I
have
have
you
it. I haven't seen it though. No, I was gonna say Blade.
Oh, that one would be
Ooh.
good too. Maybe the new Blade. Cover the
Ooh.
old and new Blade.
Yes.
Oh my
We
goodness.
can make it a
Um,
topic episode.
Daybreakers is fun. I think that's what it's called. It is very, very bloody. It's a good one, though.
Awesome. Okay. I do like well done vampire movies, so I'm down for that.
Why 16 stab wounds? Going back to like the kills itself.
Maybe he just wanted to be memorable because there wasn't that many. People aren't usually stabbed that much, and they were 16 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just to make his
Yeah.
signature or something.
It was a
guess.
cheesy little calling card that they put in there,
Something
and
to call 'em.
I think it was self-aware with that. The sweet
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, very catchy
Killer.
and memorable.
Exactly.
I'm wondering if it's like the first one was just a crime of passion, happened to be 16 on 16, so they called him that, and then the second and third murders happened. He just went with it. That was my theory.
I did think the mask looked a little like Beavis,
Yeah,
just
Kind
mildly.
of. Yeah, I was gonna say about the mask. I just had a little note, just like Happy Death Day. It kind of matches the
Yeah.
tone,
That-
the horror.
that's what I was
It-
thinking.
I had Happy Death Day vibes for sure.
Like a
Yeah.
very silly mask.
Exactly. I think they were aware of that too, and he felt like a cartoon character, but like a brutal cartoon character.
Yeah.
Like,
He was very cold. The original killer. I can't remember his name.
oh,
The
he ended up being
the principal guy.
the
right?
principal.
So like watching this the second time, I was going back and like reviewing scenes with him, knowing it. Like when he's the hall monitor and he's outside with the van talking to the two kids. And I was like, he's just so cool about it.
Yeah,
Like he has no sign of derangement or anything. And
Doug?
Doug.
Yeah,
Yes, Doug.
like he's like, no, you guys are safe with me. Like he says the right things that should be red flags, but he has such a good inflection about it.
Yeah,
That he's like, yeah, I took karate and stuff, and like he's giving you the info to know, but like he's not saying it in a weird way to obviously tip you off.
yes, kind of comparing it to Skeet Ulrich as Billy in Scream. His lines are like pointing at him, and
Yeah.
he says them creepily. But like with Doug, he seems like a genuine nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's not on your radar at all. And then he becomes the principal. So
Mhm.
like,
That was one of the questions I had was because he died in the past,
he was no longer
the principal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was not in the
Okay,
future.
so that's why I was trying to. But
I-
he was.
He was, and then
Yeah,
once he
so-
was killed,
Then he wasn't,
Yeah. Okay.
and so people probably had a memory of him being the principal, but he wasn't.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Once he's killed in the past. Sorry, that might have sounded confusing to anybody listening. But yeah, time travel is wacky. Also, all across the board, the dialogue is easy to follow. and
Mhm.
keeps attention. I liked how, even though there were quite a few characters in this movie, they all felt like their own, which was nice.
Yeah.
And their relationships were nice to see, even though you have people like Randy, the flat top haired kid in the past. He was so mean and like gross, like kind of just a stereotypical bully,
Mhm.
you know?
Who was he in the future?
He was the gym teacher.
Gym teacher.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Yep.
So he
It-
kind of became a weirdo, I guess. He didn't go anywhere. Like he still became just sports. Like because he seemed awkward in the
Yeah.
future, in the present, I guess.
Very true. Yeah. Remember, avoid the knife, keep your
Yes.
life. Like, I could hear
I
him
suppose-
buffoonishly saying that
Yeah.
in the past.
He did lose pretty much his whole clique with these murders, so kind of makes sense. He probably went on a completely different path.
God, he's lonely.
Yeah.
Randy.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have been a bully and so
So
mean.
Blake
Horrible.
and Pam went off and hooked up, so he was alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was going to say with that point, it was really nice seeing that Jamie's parents, they were just meant to be together even without her meddling. When she goes into the past, they seem to still want to get together and she's like, no, don't. But they still do, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I liked that. She didn't have to interfere too much.
I feel like she did incidentally interfere by telling her that she was going to get with him. I think that's why she pursued him a
Yeah.
little early, and that creates the brother. But
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
like, it's funny how things change when Jamie gets back there.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't their meetup. What was the story they always told?
on the quantum ride thing,
The quantum leap ride.
yeah, in
they met.
college. So her brother's like 20 years older than her, 19 years older.
Yeah, so they get
Yeah.
together younger now since Jamie went back. So it was nice. And with time travel movies, what I appreciate about time travel is not their confusing nature, but like a situation with Jamie seeing her mom and dad when they're her age and getting to know them that
Mhm.
way and learning kind of what her parents see like through their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of gets their point of view after all of this now. And it was after like seeing her parents in the past. And don't we all kind of wonder how our parents were in the past?
Yeah.
Like kind of curious. So she got that opportunity to actually meet them.
I thought it was pretty funny when she is introduced to her mom and her friends and stuff, and they're just like so
Oh.
horrible.
Her mom was I'm like, that's Pam?
Yeah.
And yeah, it got 2 points. I was like, they probably deserve to die.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And they're playing dodgeball or whatever.
That should be
Nobody
illegal.
wants to
Version of
hear
that
how
was-
much you love your mom.
that's
Oh,
that's
that
in
was-
that's in my notes because I love
My
my mom
heart
so
was
much,
hurting.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, too bad you're gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
Eric, that was a good impersonation.
Yeah. I felt so bad
Yeah,
for
she was
Jamie
just-
right there. She looks so
Yeah.
hurt.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh man, and like Pam is just whipping those freaking dodgeballs,
Yeah,
no problem.
how is that move legal?
She's like
Yeah.
she feels like a Regina George right away, and thank
Mhm.
God she
Yep.
transforms into
Do you
older Pam.
recognize young Pam from anything?
I do, but
Uh-uh.
where from?
Did you watch Cruel Summer?
No.
Oh, I
Is she
recognize her
on
from
there?
Cruel Summer, the Hulu original with Kevin Smith's daughter.
Oh, okay, that's where you've seen her.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I've seen her in other
Olivia
things.
Holt.
Olivia Holt.
Olivia Holt.
What else is she in?
That sounds familiar.
That's
She's
about
on
it, unless
Jimmy
you've
Kimmel
seen-
Live.
Yeah, Cruel Summer, some The
sorry.
Runaways. Another
Runaways?
Marvel thing. Yeah, Spider-Man animated.
Like the Kirsten Stewart Runaways?
No, the Marvel Runaways.
Nope.
The Marvel
Ashley
Cloak
has
and
not
Dagger.
seen that. Cloak and Dagger. Oh, that
Definitely
was a
just
thing.
Cruel Summer for me.
Yeah, she does some Marvel stuff. Not much.
And
else.
then Tiffany was obviously Quinn from Scream 6.
Yes.
Tiffany's the first to die, right? The redhead.
Yes.
What's her name? I always like remember it and then it leaves me.
Liana Liberato.
There we go, Liberato. All right, I need to keep that in my memory
Yeah.
because she was good in
Viva
Scream
la
and this.
Libertad.
Like you said, yeah, there's a big cast in here because you got all these people from the present You got their duplicates of the past, so you got just quite a huge cast.
Like
Definitely.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, true. It did feel like Yellow Jackets, kind of. Yeah. Also, Jamie's POV also stepping out of the photo booth right away. I just wanted to say it was done well in all.
You mean how it looked like there was like a slight warp to the TV when she got out?
Yes, yeah, and it does feel like a transformation of the set, even though it's like the same set. They just did the right changes to it to
like
where you felt transported
like,
to the
contrast
80s.
was higher, like it just was brighter.
It reminded me of Final Girls when they get transported into the movie.
I love Final Girls.
Yeah, me too. That's what it kind of the same thing it gave.
I'll get to Final Girls later on. Yeah.
The soundtrack for this movie though is killer. Like pun intended.
Literally, yeah.
Yes.
I did really enjoy the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
The one that gets in my head every time is well, first we start off with as soon as she steps out, it's Venus, I think it's called. The like I'm your Venus, I'm your fire.
Oh yeah.
From Romy and Michelle. I just watched that the other day.
Yep.
So
and then as the killing scene in the cabin was my favorite one.
Very good.
Like the whole music with that, as well as like the choreography of the moves of everyone fighting the killer. Just amazing, attention grabbing scene.
That is probably my favorite sequence in the movie because as well as that kind of fight with the killer being choreographed well and you can actually see what's going on, the camera movement is really well done, and the music choice keeps you, just like you said, Andy, but also like the cabin feel. It feels like Friday the 13th or like some old slasher flick, which is really...
I loved when they showed up there because then it really did turn into like to me, I thought it was going to be like a whodunit.
Oh,
because
sure.
there's like the just the people that are there. Turns out it wasn't that, but it made me feel like that it was going to be.
It did, and it's probably good that they didn't go in that direction because it wouldn't have fit with the whole rest of the movie if you just all of a sudden switch it.
And when I watch stuff like that, I don't normally try to figure out who the killer is. I just like
you just
watch
sit
and find
in it.
out.
Yeah. In real time.
Actually, Ryan's usually pretty good about predicting stuff. So whenever I found out that the three besties were the ones that got killed, it made me think, why are those three? Why the three best friends? And then the fourth friend, Pam, later. And then I tried to ask Ryan, but he wasn't with me. So while I was watching, so I tried to like explain it to him to see what his theory would be. But it was too vague and he couldn't. Because he didn't know the characters, but if he was watching with me, I would have liked to. So I'm wondering if he would have got it right, because he has like a weird intuition with that kind of stuff.
They don't even drop the hints that much. Like watching through this the second time, trying to pick up to see it. Like they mention Fat Trish, like once when she's listing off who could be peeved, but then they're like, okay, no, it was a red herring. It's not her brother.
Yep.
And then you don't actually find out till the killer's revealed. Oh yeah, that was the boyfriend. Yeah, we probably should have thought about him.
Very true. Yeah. Yep, I get you there. I do have in my notes, I separated the killer's motivations and, kind of looked at them like, are they too similar? Did we need two killers in this? But I feel like it did this story some justice, I guess, or, kind of a nice cherry on it, that it was two killers and very far apart from each other. Like the principal was, the principal was killing when he was younger, was done. And then it was picked up by the podcaster. It's kind of funny how those overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those interesting ones where it's like, now he's technically like a serial killer, but he met his motive. He's done. Like he got his 3 kills he wanted.
Kind of a spree killer almost instead. Yeah.
And then of course you get the podcaster that just wants to revive everything. And I thought his motives were a little weaker, but like it worked.
Yeah.
I think comparing the two motives, I do like Doug's motivation. I liked more for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instead of need to keep the podcast going.
So is Doug the one who killed Tiffany?
He kills the first three in the past.
Yeah. I thought, what was the music artist's name?
Oh, that
Didn't he keep changing the band name
Yes,
he
because
did.
well,
and his type
he
of
was
music and everything?
gonna he was gonna like hook up with Tiffany in the past
Yes.
after Jamie said something.
Yep.
And then you can cut this out if you want. But whenever they're making out, she was like, I have to use the bathroom, too many BJs. And he's like, not room for one more. And she was like, ew, no, I don't do that. And I'm like, what the hell BJs were you talking about then if that wasn't that one?
What the fuck?
They reference it on the way to the cabin before the second murder. She
Yeah.
says,
What
I
was
brought BJ wine coolers.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Because I was like, what the hell do you
their
mean?
drinks was a play on. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that till the second time too. I was like, what is she talking about?
Yeah, and then I also I caught it when he like denied her or whatever, and she went into the bathroom and was just like, he's gonna write a song about these. And then in the future she gets killed on the waterbed.
Yeah.
And then he changes his artist name to A Waterbed Away.
Yep.
Yes. That
Oh,
was
no.
horrible.
Yeah, so he
I'm
still wrote a
just-
song about her.
I'm like, of course, you're gonna draw some inspiration from this traumatic thing that didn't even happen to you, dude.
Yeah. And I liked
thought
that,
that was funny.
that he got more and more emo as the kills happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen that the background of
Very
it.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark and serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went from a rocker to just full emo.
When they were when she said, "Ew, I don't do those."
Pee
You
comes
guys
out of
pee
there.
out of those things.
Yeah.
that was a good addition and just such a funny open thing to say, like that somebody's probably thinking, God, that was hilarious. And also that waterbed kill was actually obviously I'm not a psychopath and enjoy watching people die, but this fictional obviously murder scene is done well. The waterbed just added to it and had that 80s feel to it too.
Yeah. That was one of those things I completely forgot was now obsolete. I was like, oh, hey, waterbeds. I remember like those being in history.
Right? Yeah.
Do you remember those? Because like I feel like they
I
were
remember
before my
I think
time.
they were-
somewhere.
They
I've
were
never seen
niche
it.
when we were growing up for sure.
I think I only
I guess.
knew one family that had one and I went on it once. That's it.
Me too, but I can't remember exactly who
Yeah.
it was
Isn't
for
that-
me.
It's a funny childhood memory sitting
Yeah.
in there. But yeah,
Kinda
I liked
uncomfortable.
that the water was going everywhere. with
I-
waterbed.
When I think of waterbeds, I like the scene on Bride of Chucky where she throws the wine bottle and it comes down with the glass.
I've
and,
seen that part.
like the water explodes with like the blood mixed in.
Yeah.
I love that part.
yeah. That's a memorable part
Yeah.
too. Waterbeds are just good to have in a horror movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're at the cabin.
Yes. And
Pizza.
I have a note
Pizza.
about that.
pizza. I love that. That's what I have in my
So
notes.
I have in my notes, I said, why would Jamie hide pizza? And they're all looking for it. They're like, she must have hid it. I was like, why?
Well, what I was wondering about that was like, is weed actually more potent nowadays?
Yes, it is.
It
Is it?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, they were even
Yeah,
commenting
way
on that.
more.
Like
Yeah.
Jamie was saying.
I
that.
have
they-
notes on
they
that,
talked
too.
about it, but I didn't know if that was like a real thing. Like if weed was just not good in the 80s. Because like she's like 8.5 brownies.
No,
and I'm like,
it's
oh,
not.
you're gonna be fucked up.
Yeah,
And she had no effect.
Yeah.
She's just like roasting her weed, and she's like, leave me alone. Leave
She's
my
like-
stash alone.
She's like, I put a pound of weed in the brownies. A pound.
A pound?
it was so funny that
Nowadays that just sounds like death. Like
It
a
had-
pound?
it had no effect on Jamie at all.
She's
and
like,
I
I
thought that was
literally could have a
hilarious.
gummy with 100 milligrams in it.
Exactly. Yeah, just one gummy. She
Yeah.
was saying, like, I can have a gummy like this. that was hilarious. I liked
Yeah.
that little joke.
I did
And that-
like them like running around all stoned though. And like she's trying to get the future sheriff girl, I can't remember her name,
Yeah.
to let her in, and she's just staring at her, and you can tell she's just out of it.
Oh
She's
yeah.
just looking for the pizza.
And it it pissed me off that they locked Jamie out of the cabin, the only sober person, and
They're so
there's a
mean
killer
to
on the
her.
loose.
Yeah.
Like, were
And
you
then,
guys?
then she walks down the stairs and she's like, I can't remember what she says exactly. But she's like, you guys like pretty much deserve to die if this is like how you are.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I was thinking the same thing about them.
Yeah, basically, kind of commenting on like how 80s teens were in the 80s movies, you know, just so unaware of everything.
Yeah.
And
I think Pam like constantly kind of gets shown as like she's not actually a mean girl. She just, I guess, like ran with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
yeah,
She like pulls Jamie aside. I like that. You could tell he just wants food, and he's like, Jamie's like, I think she just wants us to be alone together. Like, there's not actually pizza. She's trying to like get him to go off with her, and
yeah,
Jamie just keeps trying to break it up throughout the movie. She's like, too horny, cut it out.
yeah. I love how she had to get in that situation with her parents. It's a weird thing to think about.
You have to wait to make me.
Yeah, you have to wait to make me. Yeah, no, that was good. And also thinking about Pam, how Pam is to Jamie's grandma. That was kind of interesting that Jamie was able to see that relationship, how it was, and why her grandma doesn't come around.
Yeah.
And it was kind of mirroring Jamie and Pam's relationship, where it was like, Jamie's a teenager, leave me alone type of thing. Stop being so overbearing. And now Jamie gets to see that. I like that in stories and making the lesson worth it.
I agree. I really like that too. And she was like, no wonder grandma doesn't come around.
Exactly. She kind of like said that under her breath. Like she's on the outside looking in now, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I love all of the interactions between Pam and Jamie in the past are just great. Like
their relationship is very nice. It's not only like, oh, Jamie gets this opportunity, but like actually seeing it play out. The actresses did
and
well
like
together.
When Jamie pulls some self-defense move on Randy, and then Pam's like, how did you do that? And she's like, I learned it from my mom. Yes. I love that part.
I love that too. Yeah. Thankfully, Jamie's a little more prepared too as a protagonist, and it makes sense because we saw what Pam did.
Training her. Yeah. I like then like right after the dodgeball scene too, when they're still kind of like at odds with each other, not friends yet. She's like, "Oh, mom, a mamacita," and she does that twice at her in Spanish. I'm like, "That's fucking awesome."
I like when the first time she does it, her mom or Pam talks back to her in Spanish. It's like 3 years of Spanish, bitch, and then walks away.
Yeah.
She's just so cold.
Doesn't one of the friends say that?
Oh
no, it was all Pam. I think.
Okay,
by Pam. What did Pam? Like say 3 years of Spanish, bitch. Okay, I thought one of the friends was like chipping in. You know.
Yeah. Well, those like cool things to learn. Like she probably didn't know that about her mom.
Yeah.
And how Kiernan Shipka delivers that, mom, mamacita. Like, she's very ay.
You know, where I'm from, birthday parties are considered so lame. Like, I don't know, maybe you should cancel it.
Maybe you should fuck off and die.
Jesus, Mom. Mamacita. Ay. Ay. Mamacita.
Oh. ¿Hablas español? Está bien. Vete a la mire, more.
3 years of Spanish, bitch.
She calls her mom like 4 times.
Yeah.
I think it was,
She's slipping up. I mean, wouldn't you though too?
Yeah.
I'm not used to calling my mom by her name or anything. Yeah, no. Or my dad. Weird.
I have one tiny other plot hole that I want to ask about.
Of course.
It's a tiny one. So Amelia's mom, Lauren, she can make a whole ass time machine, or pretty much got it to the completion with her notes, but she can't convert some other type of charger to a phone charger in the past. I'm like, that should be a simple thing for like how much science you're doing is conducting electricity into a phone.
Yeah, that's true.
I just thought that was an interesting, like, oh, this is the time crunch we're being forced to, but it's like, shouldn't be a problem.
See,
yeah,
your plot holes you're bringing up, I think, do kind of swim in the vein of me saying that I gave this an 8, and it's hard for horror comedies to be perfect. especially when you're introducing a Back to the Future aspect to the story. You got to focus on that and like what else,
Yeah.
like there are going to be little plot things with time travel. You got to be careful.
Mhm.
And I kind of just accept this movie how it is, but I do see your plot holes and they're good points.
Yeah, if she doesn't start studying Reaganomics. I like that little line.
Yeah.
Get ready for the test on Wednesday or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's
That,
right.
That would suck to be stuck in the past. Like you're gonna live a great life because you know all the stocks to invest in and everything. But like like you growing up knowing that this isn't your world really. Or you're 20 years too early for it.
Yeah.
I have this. Have you guys ever seen Pleasantville with Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire, and they get transported into the old the old black and white 20s TV series?
Damn, I added that to my watch list because I think you recommended
That
it
is
to
a
me.
really good like present day people in a long time ago movie.
Oh, kind of comparing to this a little bit. I would like that one.
You will love it.
I need to watch it.
And you like Toby
I like Toby.
as Spider-Man.
Correction, I don't. Anymore.
I thought you did.
No, I love Spider-Man. But yeah, hot take. I prefer Tom Holland's over
I didn't watch
Toby. I grew up with Toby.
Good
I get
choice.
it, guys.
those.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I don't think I've watched it because I keep like seeing it on my watch list and I'm like, I can't wait to watch that. But I haven't found it on streamers that I have.
Mhm.
yet.
Last time I watched it, I rented it, I believe, only for a couple dollars.
Okay, maybe I should just rent
Yeah,
it then.
because William H. Macy has a really, really good cast, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a great actor. We just saw him in Apes.
Yes, we saw him in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
Apes.
Monkey.
Oh, it was
How was that?
so
It was very
good,
good.
dude. I love the Apes trilogy.
The quadrilogy.
Quadri-
four now.
Yeah.
Quadrilogy?
Yeah. I think they're making another 3 or 4 now with
Yeah,
this new stuff.
I think this
Yeah.
is technically
What?
a new trilogy because Matt Reeves did the first
Holy
3,
shit.
right?
No, actually, I corrected myself. Matt Reeves did not do the first one, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. A
Mhm.
different director did. He did
2 and
Dawn
3.
and War,
Okay.
the 2 best ones.
Okay. I think it's just referred as the Reeves trilogy since he did 2. And then
Yeah,
this is going to be the new director.
that's how I've referenced it this whole time. And now I'm like, I'm an idiot. I
Well,
didn't know.
Yeah.
What? Well,
we've been
Yeah.
knowing that.
shh.
What else?
Why you said
Guys,
it,
why did I
bro.
bring her on?
What else you guys got on Totally Killer?
Okay, yeah, I can edit.
I
that
did
out.
have one funny thing that made me laugh.
Yes.
The boy, I didn't really retain who he was, but like the one that was kind of off to the side, he was like drawing like the stuff in the notebook and
Lurch.
Yes, Lurch. Duh.
He was the brother
He was
of
the
Fat
brother to-
Trish.
Yeah, Fat Trish.
okay.
The one who died.
Duh.
Yeah.
That Doug ended up being connected
Yes,
with.
yes.
Yeah, he's just a red herring killer.
Well, I thought it was really funny when she was looking at his notebook in class, and he just had like in just big scribbled letters, "Shoot him in the head."
Yeah. I was looking at that too. I like paused to read his stuff and
I-
I was like, it's gonna be like a Columbine shooter.
And wasn't it kind of lyrics too, like from a band? I thought he mentioned that he likes listening to a band or something when they went into his band or something
Oh,
like that. But
Possibly.
yeah.
I thought he was scribbling like lyrics
Oh,
and
okay,
stuff,
okay,
and then
probably.
maybe some.
But that still made me laugh though.
Yeah, no, it was funny. I was gonna ask you guys. Well, I'll save that one for after our notes. Never mind, because it's kind of a general one.
Are we at the point where they're at the carnival for like the final fight scene?
We should probably get to the final let's do that.
You have anything to add about it first?
The colors inside the quantum drop.
Yes.
I loved it, and I remember a ride like that when I was a kid at the Minot State Fair. I loved it.
I liked when Lauren was saying there's something to disrupt gravity, and then they look over at the thing, and I know that ride as being the Gravitron. So I
yes.
thought that was a nice little wordplay for me because that's what I know it as.
Maybe they intentionally, because they couldn't take that name for it.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably. And another quick thing about that is when the killer is walking sideways in there. That was one of the coolest scenes. That might be my favorite scene in the movie, I think.
I liked the encounter in the Quantum Drop. I think they used the ride to their advantage for the movie and like showing it to us. Like they really used that ride to its potential, I thought.
I thought she screwed herself out of her like future life when she sucked her mom out of the airlock. I was like, they're going fast, and she just got stabbed. I thought I'm more like at first I thought like, oh, she's gonna ruin her reproductive chance by stabbing her in the stomach.
Oh,
And then I was like, oh shit, no, maybe she's just dead. She's gone.
you thought there was a dire result because of that,
Yeah,
but like it ended up not
being fine.
Once Pam flew out of there, I want to say you might die, right?
Well, they like were
They're going
saying
so fast.
she was like, well, if we go too fast and whatever, you'll like pretty much explode.
Turn to the mist.
Yeah, the pink mist, and that's
so I thought that
what Doug said earlier.
Happened
talking about the video game.
Yeah, because then she's like,
one thing
the
he
pink
did.
mist. Yeah, I liked that.
That's the one thing that you could like say about him that you're like, oh, maybe you're a little weird because he was getting a little too excited about the new game.
Very
but
true.
I kind of wrote that off as like, it's just nerdy.
And jokes on everybody in the 80s. Nerd shit is in now, too. I forgot to bring up that point.
Pam is a sci-fi geek. Tell anybody and I'll kill you.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, Pam, you don't need to keep that under wraps anymore. You know, if you were here.
Yeah.
I was going to say, too, with the ending Quantum Drop, the stakes are really felt when young Pam is in there with Jamie when she told her to stay out. It's like, oh no, something's going to happen. Like you were saying, Andy, her being stabbed has bad results on something. But thank God, yeah, she flew out of there. It just was, she had a scratch.
Yeah.
little knife wound.
Yeah, to Matt Blake as well, because he got stabbed in the cabin.
Aha, that's very true.
You got a scar to bond over.
Whenever she goes back, are we done with the fight scene?
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else to add?
Yeah.
So whenever Jamie goes back to like the future or present day, I should say.
Yeah.
And she's running through the house, and it's so stark white, clean, everything, and the only color was the rainbow flag. When she's running by looking for her mom.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, why is that the one piece of color in the whole house? And then we later find out that her brother's gay. So I was like, that's why.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, that was a good catch. I didn't notice that. Yeah, I
didn't even catch on that her brother was gay until they were doing like the end credits, and it showed where everyone was after the movie ended.
Yeah.
And then her brother was like had a boyfriend. So I was like, that's why the rainbow flag was there.
Oh,
right.
I didn't even catch that.
Yep. And going with your point there, Ashley, the plot really avoids a plot hole with Lauren making a things that are different notebook for Jamie. I thought that was a really nice touch.
that.
Yeah, me too.
It's a like, here's the big things you need to know, and good luck.
Like, you can't expect somebody to just totally like you push them off and hey, go fly, learn about your world now.
Yeah.
Like now that it's present and you change things. Yeah. So it was nice that she helped her out with that. That was a nice thing to do and really showed their bond that they, came up with back in the 80s. And now they still share that bond, which is nice. Her best friend's mom. It's nice.
I love that her parents in the present day when she comes back was dressed as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I love that movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Never seen it.
Wow.
I know.
It's very entertaining. I watched it a lot growing up.
Yeah. I've seen it a lot. I wouldn't say it's like a must watch.
No, it's just
but it's good.
Okay.
That's where Brad Pitt met Angelina Jolie and left Jen.
They worked together well on it.
Boo.
I have one last thing to add that I didn't. Was when Dupassage told Jamie, "Nice fake blood looks real." Do you remember that part?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was her brother walking up right on the stairs.
It was somebody.
Yeah,
As far as the end
at the
there.
very end. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went like this. Straight faced. Because I was like, nope, I thought of that CGI blood. And that was it.
Ashlee, it's okay. It's okay. I do like my practical blood though too, and that didn't really stick out to me. So I'm glad you brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think that's all I have on it.
I do have some general questions for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Run it through.
Okay. If you guys were the main character in this movie, God help us survive it, which decade would you like it to be set in?
I'm going to have to
Oh
go with
boy.
90s.
90s? You do seem like a,
Yeah,
90s
I'd have
person.
to go with 90s.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
I'm still coming from the same year, right? Coming from 2023.
Yes.
Okay. I would have to also go with 90s. Like, as much as I would like either like 50s, 70s, or 80s for the aesthetic,
Mhm.
like 90s would feel the most familiar, where like you're not feeling like a complete outsider when you go back.
Okay.
I would pick 90s or early 2000s.
Okay.
I wouldn't
So-
go back to the early 2000s.
So you wouldn't go back that far? No, those are two good picks. Eric, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna have to agree with either 90s or 2000s because like anything going past like 80s like is like a danger zone for me.
That's very true.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay, it makes
I'll have more than
makes
killers
total
to worry
sense.
about.
We will we won't go on about your reasoning, but yeah, I get you. I get you. All right. Yeah, no, good picks, guys. Okay, so kind of all around the same time. So you guys would be in the past together. All right. Good
Yeah.
luck.
I'd want to go to a Sum 41 concert for sure.
Oh, okay.
That's why I picked early 2000s.
You want to actually
Oh, yeah.
experience the decade. Like you would go out and do stuff.
Yes.
You like wouldn't mind if a killer was after you or trying to kill other people, you're trying to stop it?
No.
I'd want to go rioting.
If I knew
at
the people,
Woodstock
yes.
99 with
If
everybody.
I knew the people, but if it was just a random killer,
Really,
Oh.
like, I don't think she cared too much about her mom's friends. She
No,
didn't need
they
to
were.
save them. As long as she could go back, enjoy it for a couple of years, enjoy the life, and then go save her mom.
Yeah, I think she was just trying to be a good person. And yeah, of course,
Yeah.
save her mom was the main objective. So the friends kind of just came with that.
Yeah.
I would have to say, same as this movie, put me in the 80s. I would say 50s for aesthetic,
Mhm.
but I feel that is too
Like,
past my
it'd be
time,
a
and
big culture shock.
that would be
like-
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of the same reasoning with you, Eric. I would maybe have some issues like in society, if you get what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, society
No.
doesn't have a great history.
No.
I think
Yeah.
even just the general conversation, like you hear some clear slang differences. Like she says "dope," Jamie does stuff
Definitely.
like that, and some different things that the '80s kids say. Like
Yeah.
it'd be black and white. Like
Yeah.
when you go back and you're like, oh, these people don't speak like me at all.
I think
If you went
Yeah.
back to the '50s,
yeah. I think the 80s would be just manageable enough. That's why I kind of picked it. And you know, if I need to get my curly fro going, you know, be asked into Hall and Oates, I'll do it.
It also takes everything that I possibly could from whatever time period I was in
Yeah.
and stuff it in the time machine and all the super valuable stuff and just keep it for my own collection
Hell
that I
yeah.
can't get these days.
just bringing back rare items. Bring back Beanie Babies.
Yep.
Oh, one more quicker question for you guys. With time travel, do you guys need an intricate explanation with how the time travel works, or do you just kind of take it at face value and go with it? Since we already talked about that, I kind of wanted to ask that question.
I think there's enough different kinds of time travel that you need to do what they did in this movie and say what movie you're going to reference, because then you can build off people's knowledge of that movie's time travel.
Yeah,
So
that's a good answer.
it's like Endgame, Back to the Future.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, I would have to have some general questions answered.
just general, not like getting too deep into it though. You don't need.
Yeah, I just want to make sure of certain things first
Yeah.
before I go do stuff in the past. I'd still want my same mom and sisters.
Yeah.
I'd still like to meet Ryan. But everything that leads up to that, I could, as long as those things are.
Ryan, she'll save you.
Yeah. See.
Don't worry. He won't be lost forever. Okay, yeah.
So not super intricate. I just want to make sure certain things would stay the same.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, have awareness of it and what you're doing.
Yeah.
You would kind of like if you were the character in this movie.
Yeah.
You need that.
I like the time travel that they did choose for this movie.
Same.
But I also don't believe in it when it comes to like thinking of what time travel would actually be.
Yeah.
Because I believe in like the chaos theory, butterfly effect. I'm like, the amount of
Yes.
changes she made, she completely fucked up the future.
Yeah, there would be a lot more changes, I feel.
Yeah.
But I like what they did with
I
the
did
movie,
too.
the changes and stuff.
Mhm.
It wasn't too much, wasn't too little. Eric, what would you say? Do you need like a very intricate explanation, or you can just take it as it is?
Okay, so time travel like really scares me,
Really?
honestly. Like that's like it's like a cosmic horror, I guess, for me, because
I love cosmic horror.
I know like if I were to go back in time and change anything, I don't know, like anything could happen, and then that just like domino effect changes everything. Like that just
Yep.
scares me. I don't know. I feel like I would have to know like what stays the same or like what I have to do. Like I have to have a set of rules. Like I'm sure there's a ton.
That's pretty much where I'm at
But,
as well. Like
yeah.
I would want certain things to stay the same, and I'd want to know how to keep certain things the same while also changing other things, if that's possible.
Yeah. If I could change something without it like creating a catastrophe, like yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Even then, like I don't know, man. Keep that time machine away from
Do
me.
not let me use it. You cannot trust me with it. And I'd be too
Just
anxious.
gotta grieve your parent and move on.
Yeah. Like just move on.
Other than like break all of reality.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, Ashlee and Eric are kind of in the same area there, and Andy, I liked your answer too. Like, I think I'm with Eric and Ashlee on this one too. You know, like I need some of it, and I can just take the rest at face value. But kind of like I said, if I really love the story and I really need to know, I will dive into it. It's a habit of mine, and it's not a very healthy one because it just breaks my mind even more. So, yeah, okay. Those were my only questions. And after this, I will stop talking and shut up. But I did want to add a new segment to the pod, and I didn't tell my co-host this, so it'll just be me. It's my fault. I'll bring it up, and it's kind of self-explanatory. I'll just kind of list 3 movies that this movie reminds me of.
We're gonna have similar ones.
Perfect. I'd obviously like to say Back to the Future. It just has that fun, light feel from Back to the Future while using a plot device from it, like time travel. And it wasn't too confusing. And Back to the Future isn't too confusing, I feel, with the time travel aspect. And if you guys enjoy Back to the Future, you will enjoy this movie. It takes quite a bit of inspiration, not just a smidge. And I would also say Happy Death Day, obviously, because that deals with time travel and a killer. It's a slasher comedy as well. But I do prefer this movie over Happy Death Day. I probably have to say, I just think it was more fun, better characters surrounding the main character. And the last one I would say is Final Girls. I'm not going to go on about it because I've already been talking, and I want Ashlee to go in on that one a little more.
Let's see. I would obviously pick Happy Death Day.
obviously.
I think I might prefer Happy Death Day to this one,
Okay.
even though I think they're both really hilarious. I love both of them.
Definitely, I don't hate a Happy Death Day. I
but
just prefer...
I'm also a little, because I love Happy Death Day 2 as well. So it's the two together that
Yes.
um
Gotcha.
Final Girls, obviously, and not the same type of movie, but it gave me, like, with the humor and the way it was filmed and stuff, Freaky.
Yes. Yep.
Same vein for sure.
Really,
Yeah.
really enjoyed the comedy of Freaky, and I think this one matched my comedy as well.
Yeah.
Like
So
what
I'm
I
gonna-
find humorous.
I'm gonna have to say those three. If I had to pick just three.
Those were good. That's a good trifecta there. Yeah, and listeners, definitely check out Final Girls. If you want to watch this movie and are interested in this one, I'd say that one is in the same vein, and it does have a different stories.
And same
From
with
this
Happy
one.
Death Day, I would say too.
Definitely,
That was more Groundhog Day esque.
it's enough of a change from this one that it's not like, oh, I feel like I'm watching the same movie. That's why we're recommending them. So yeah, check those out.
Yeah.
Andy, Eric, can you think of any other movies that we haven't mentioned that Totally Killer reminds you of?
No, I was gonna add Freaky.
None that you haven't
so that
mentioned.
was it.
All right,
Sorry.
Ashley, we covered it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But yeah, for next time, that will be a little segment at the end and kind of get more recommendations out there for
Yeah.
you guys. That's what we like to do.
Maybe we can try to compile a longer list so we don't overlap as much and can recommend more movies as long as we get them all covered.
Very true. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you guys been watching lately? Eric, do you want to kick us off? We haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Missed you on the Whiplash.
We did dearly.
Yeah, lately I have been watching shows. Yeah, so I guess I watched an entire series, and it's not even like a series. I want to say it's like an 8-part, like it's like a limited series. It's called The Terminal
Oh,
List.
I've heard of it.
Chris Pratt.
After I read the book, I found out there was a show, and I really liked the book, so I watched that, and it was great.
How did
thought
it
was
compare
really
to the
cool.
book, you think?
There was things that they changed. Obviously, they put things in different, like it's tasteful differences, I guess. It's not like they were adding new characters and all that stuff. Because I mean, speaking of like comparing like books to movies, like the Gray Man, like there was a lot of characters in the Gray Man that weren't even in the book. Like they just started adding characters, replacing characters. The guy's name isn't Six in the book either, so it's like completely different. But that's something else. But like yeah, Terminal List. It's a good series. It's like a revenge story. It's like really sad, but also really I don't know. It follows like a former Navy SEAL who like turns into a domestic terrorist in short. So it's like not really. Like, I mean, he's called a domestic terrorist, but like he's just doing like crazy shit to, hunt down some people that are doing some bad things, I guess. So yeah. That's my recommendation.
Dang, and I suppose that took up quite a bit of your time, so you probably don't have multiple things to recommend right now, or what you've been watching.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I did go see The Fall Guy in theaters recently.
How was it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. Really funny. Yeah, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt were
great
just
team as
they were
always.
just made for those roles. So
shouldn't
yeah,
say as always,
great.
but just to be expected.
I definitely want to catch that one while it's in
Yeah.
theaters.
Oh, I'm so excited for that one.
David Leitch has become one of my
He's good.
faves.
He's good
lately. So
yeah, especially the Deadpool.
Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Because he directed the first 2 Deadpools, right?
I couldn't tell you.
He co-directed the first John Wick.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody different.
I want to say
Never mind.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I'm not going to look it up right now, but I'm pretty sure.
At least the
close.
first one,
Yeah.
I think, or something.
At least.
But I agree. Yeah, I'm excited to check out The Fall Guy. I'm really sad that it's not doing well money-wise. Apparently, people just aren't going to see it for some reason. I don't know. I think I heard that the other
Same,
day.
but
see that.
But it's just surprising to me, like, especially after Barbie and Oppenheimer, you have Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, like two stars from two of the biggest movies of the year. So it just doesn't make sense to me.
But like when you think about it, like it wasn't like heavily advertised like it was Barbie.
Oh, you don't
and
think? I thought
Oppenheimer.
I felt like there was a lot of ads for it.
Was there? Maybe I just missed them. But I felt like there was a lot more with Barbie and Oppenheimer than it was for like even like other.
I think there was
movies
more word of
nowadays.
mouth with Barbenheimer, for sure.
And I mean,
Yeah,
the
I guess.
advertising teams did like group up with Oppenheimer and Barbie, and they made some interesting advertisements just coming together on that. But I do feel like Ryan and Emily were at least out there promoting it quite a bit. And especially TikTok, like that's how you see definitely advertising for movies nowadays, and what the actors do to promote it. Just little clips and stuff. So I felt like I saw it all over the place.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe I just was maybe I wasn't.
Oh
paying
no,
enough
you're
attention.
good. I mean, if you don't look there, like you don't go on TikTok a whole lot, huh? Okay,
Not
yeah,
often,
yeah,
no.
that's probably why. So I
So
don't blame you.
that's probably it.
But yeah, no, I'm glad you checked it out. Can't wait.
Yeah. Fall Guy, and then Iron Claw. I finally saw.
Very good.
That was good.
Tears
Yeah,
your heart
those-
apart.
I'm still waiting to be in the right mindset
Yeah.
to check that one out.
You might shed a tear.
You definitely. It's
Yeah, I'm waiting.
It's heavy.
Nell and I
Yeah.
really liked it, even though it made us feel the way it made us feel. It's powerful in that way.
Yeah, I said I loved it, but then like at the end where my face is just all red and full of tears, I looked at Courtney. I'm like, why did you make me watch?
I loved it so much that it hurts. yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Ashlee, what you been watching?
Since the last episode, me and Ryan have been so busy, like with my birthday and his sister's graduation and traveling and family time. We haven't been watching much, except for still Married with Children.
Oh, okay. That you mentioned on your
Like
now watching
like
the other
23-minute episodes each time. Yeah, we've started stuff, but have fallen asleep, or so I don't have much to update at the moment, unfortunately.
Any rewatched movies?
Oh, we watched Twister.
I need to check that out before the new one comes out.
Yep, that's why I watched that. But Infested.
And you,
Oh, dude, I
You
started
did, Eric?
watching that, and I clicked it off, dude. I couldn't.
It's
I'm like, I
effective,
can't
isn't
do
it?
it.
Ryan had me shut it off before it ended because he didn't like it.
Before it ended. I barely could
I was
start
watching it, and it got to like the part where they're all, like they walk through the whole tunnel with
Yes.
the cupboard, and he was just like, "Keep turning, I don't like it."
oh man. Okay.
So I'm gonna finish it.
I don't like it.
But we really liked it up to the start. I mean, I was still watching it.
Okay, so you enjoyed it at least and would have
Yes.
kept watching.
Yes,
Okay.
and and he really did too, because he liked the French aspect of it and stuff,
Oh,
and like the
good.
music and like just everything.
Yeah.
I don't know at what point it turned for
Lost him.
Yes.
I'm curious on that. I'm gonna have to talk to him on it because yeah, I don't blame him for not like wanting to finish it. It might not be for some people for sure. I didn't think it'd be for me, but yeah,
I'm gonna go back and finish it though.
awesome.
Just
Yeah, you
without him, I
should.
guess.
Really good French film and Shudder original. I'm glad Shudder's coming out with quality horror
Yeah.
for us. So that's kind of it, huh?
I've been wanting to. I have stuff on my watch list, so I want to check out Poor Things soon.
I'm surprised you haven't seen that.
That's
still.
another one. Same with Iron Claw. I'm waiting for like the right mindset because I know it's going to be a lot to take in.
It is.
So just kind of waiting to like sit down, and I've also been wanting to rewatch Prometheus for a while.
Just rewatched that the other week.
So I want to
Prepare
watch that
for,
soon.
Romulus.
Yes.
Preparing for Romulus.
I still haven't watched the Romulus trailer, but I heard some things.
It's. I'll say I have watched it. It's brief. It's not going to ruin anything. I mean,
Thank
I haven't
God.
seen the movie for you, but it's very brief.
Okay,
The one I watched.
I'm still gonna try to avoid it at all costs though.
Fede Alvarez. I
Yes.
feel like he has it in the bag. I
Yeah,
telling you,
so
I'm
have to
I'm
assume.
excited,
Yeah,
but
it's going to be some sort of xenomorph and a lot of blood.
yeah.
Awesome. Andy, what you been
Yeah.
watching?
I mean, I'm always watching a lot, as you know.
Yeah.
I only got one that I really want to recommend this time, though. Newer movie from the end of last year, I think, called Nefarious. Um, so this one is kind of one of those all-in-one room
Ooh.
movies. It's a lawyer, or a psychiatrist, doctor that comes in to interview a man on death row who says he's like being influenced by the devil. He was a murderer, and or a demon, not the devil himself. And so he has to declare him either sane or not sane. If he's sane, he gets killed. If he's insane, he gets to just live out in prison. So he's kind of like interviewing him and trying to go back and forth, like, is this guy actually like insane and just believes that he's being controlled by a demon, or is there actual like a supernatural thing at play? So it's a really interesting, like, dialogue heavy movie. Very good thriller.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I've heard the name, but I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah, I
That
think this
sounds
would be
really good.
up your alley.
Yeah.
That one's on Prime and Peacock, so
That will be going on my watch list, Andy.
it was good. I enjoyed it, and it's on Tubi, so it's free.
Dang, Ashley, maybe we should have a movie night for that.
That one sounds right
with,
up our alley.
With Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nell probably would. We'll find a different movie.
One last thing. We did check, I didn't finish it, but I checked out the Ted TV series on Peacock.
Oh, yeah.
And from what I watched, it was so funny. Very offensive, but
Really
I love that,
funny,
obviously.
actually.
Is it
And
still Wahlberg and
No.
co?
It's this high school boy, and they're like live in Brooklyn, and he has Ted, and it's like his family and his cousin, and Ted has to go to high school with him.
Oh,
And
Isn't Mark Wahlberg's character just younger? Because he grew up with Ted, right?
Yeah.
oh, I don't know. I don't remember the movie Ted.
Okay, I was just curious. Eric?
But you probably are very.
Yeah, from what I got, it's just
You
a
were
younger.
definitely right, and I didn't really think about it because I haven't seen Ted in like
Yeah.
years and
Oh,
years.
you're good. I was just kind of thinking,
Yeah.
like, did Ted move on to somebody else?
No,
Probably
no,
not.
because it takes place in the 90s, and it just got renewed for season 2.
Awesome.
So
Glad it's doing well
gonna
then.
finish
I
it.
might have to check.
Sweet. Is there anything else on Peacock that's like worth
maybe
getting
the
Peacock?
Chucky series.
That's on there. Peacock.
Maybe.
What else is on
they
Peacock?
flutter in and out with good movies.
They do.
That's when I always forget about. I have it.
I can't
It's
say
every
it's
month, but I don't.
consistently a top thing for me. It's one of those like, oh, this one good movie went on there for a month.
Yeah. I think Peacock. What has it? NBC, isn't that Peacock or something like that? Oh, Universal
Yeah.
movies
I
go
think-
on there. So Universal Pictures is always good. So I feel like it's a good one to have in
Oh,
your
yeah.
back pocket. But there's not a ton of.
Yeah, the new Night Swim's on there. Yeah, it's just kind of a lot of random stuff.
That's where I watched Night Swim. So that was nice.
Yeah.
So like those Universal movies
Oppenheimer.
that. What's up?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, the Universal movies that just come out of theaters, they'll most likely go on Peacock,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I might get it.
Yeah.
I got it.
nice.
What about you, Hunter? What's your watch?
Let's see. So obviously last night checked out one of Ashley's favorites, Death Proof
Mm-hmm.
from Quentin Tarantino, and movie lovers might be like, oh my God, Andy Hunter, you haven't freaking seen that and you have a movie podcast. But yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit I'm kind of going through classics that I feel like I need to see right now. And what's all talked about, I only got so much time. But Death Proof was enjoyable, and it was fun to talk to Ashley about it because it means a lot to her. And yeah, Andy and I just had a good time watching it, so can't complain about that. And I won't go into it because it's probably been talked about a lot already, And I've been mostly rewatching things because I've been very busy at work and my mind has run its course at the end of some days. So I kind of just throw on rewatchables that I haven't seen for a while.
You
And-
just rewatched one of our faves,
Which one?
John Tucker Must Die.
Oh, heck yeah. That was last week. I was going to bring up some more recent ones, but yeah, John Tucker Must Die is a must, of course. And then I checked out Saw X last night because weirdly, again, guys, I'm not a psychopath, but it's a kind of comfort movie for some reason. Like in the Saw franchise, it just, I don't know, it feels more of a comfort movie than the other Saws for some reason.
It was nice to have a different POV.
Exactly. Like John Kramer is in a different situation here. So like, yeah.
It felt like going back to the first couple movies for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Theme-wise.
It was just a really good, promising entry in the Saw franchise after having how many movies. So it was nice rewatching that because I only saw it once. And then I rewatched Clueless. There we go. Finally thought of it. Nell's like, throw on Clueless one night. And I'm just like, yeah. And of course, I stayed up rewatching it.
Oh, I just rewatched Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion with my sisters this past weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So whenever Venus started playing on Totally Killer, it just brought me right back to that too. So.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
That's always a good rewatch.
Okay. Yeah. I might have to rewatch that one sometime soon. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, just mostly rewatchables.
Yeah, and then our next movie is actually Ashlee's first pick then.
Yes.
So
yay, Ashlee.
Yeah.
And we will be talking about Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes.
Tim Burton's first, or his directorial debut.
Get ready for it.
One that I think only Ashley's seen. Eric, have you seen that one?
No. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
So you'll be introducing it to three of us.
Yay.
You got this. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, lots of facts for that one.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. I love when you dive into facts and behind the scenes of movies you know really well.
Yeah. So tune in for that, for our audio film, or not audio film, comedy film. Our first full comedy. Is it full comedy or is it like thriller?
Nope.
Comedy. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
First real comedy then.
Thank you for getting that in the lineup, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we had to put one in there eventually.
And also, I'll add a little note to anyone listening. I'm so sorry about my audio last episode. We got the problem figured out.
Yes.
So we're good.
Should be good to go.
I sounded like I was at the bottom of the ocean. And I apologize.
Okay.
I cringe every time I listen to it. But
J.K. Simmons just really beat you down. You're just feeling like that yourself.
oh man, he tossed me in the ocean, forgot about me. Yeah.
Yeah, so always follow on the Instagrams and all the other things in the description. Stay tuned for some comedy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.